California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city. Oh yeah, bro, what's up? What do you mean you haven't paid for Netflix yet this month? You have to pay for Netflix? What the f- So we are in Los Angeles on some beach. Venice, it says in the movie. Yeah, a cue high scene with Scooby-Doo stealing a ham with a biker cop in pursuit of the culprit. And there's a scene where Scooby-Doo's tippy toes like mid-air while that part is in slow motion on a skating area, and that's the kind of awesomeness that I'm looking for in a movie like this, and they gave it to me. And right there mid-chase we see a man, or boy I should say, with the greatest way of saying like the man, the myth, the legend, Shaggy Rogers himself. And if you watched a lot of my reactions, I say like a lot. Like I just said it. And it's our classic Shaggy who is lonely and needs a friend. And the movie finds just great ways to remind us about that and remind him most importantly, and that's something you should look out for. There's also a part in the movie where Shaggy tells the cop what Scooby's name is, and I bet you've seen it in the trailer before, but in the movie they do a change up. It's so hilarious. Shaggy's loneliness is an integral part of this movie regarding the emotional prestige. It gets so crazy that Scooby realizes that he needs to step up and be there for him. And that part is just the writers just tearing, absolutely tearing at your heartstrings. And right there, a new wholesome friendship begins. The emotion in this movie is just in the right places. The score insists of modern and 90s music. I think there's a little bit of 2000s music there as well. But it doesn't feel forced, you know? It just feels like everything is just placed at the right moment. Scooby meeting Shaggy or Raggy is done just right, and I can say the same for the rest of the gang meeting one another. The movie is self-aware, especially with its jokes. We have the classic Velma who thinks there's a rational explanation for everything and that ghosts don't exist, and she has more courage than the whole team, and that's something that I really enjoyed watching this film. This movie makes you reminisce about the past with them going old school, and I mean old school, with them playing the 70s or 80s intro song of Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang animated series, but with them as kids. And that was a little nugget of which I was delighted to see, with them paying their respects to the past, so much so that the whole gang was basically walking in their own specific way, in their classic specific way, just like they used to walk back then, and they walk the same way now. The graphics are fantastic, better than any Mystery Incorporated movie or series that I've ever seen. Simon Cowell is also in this movie playing himself, and there's a part there where Scooby and Shaggy just sprinkle in some self-awareness. That part was also hilarious of what they did there. And with the question being, is friendship the one thing that can save the day? And there's a lot to cover in this movie, so I was thinking about maybe not every review, but maybe some reviews that I do, I'm gonna go into a speed round. So here's the speed round for the rest of this movie. They brought two Boomerang characters back in this movie. You have Dick Dastardly, you have Mudley, and this is basically a nod to Shaggy having, if I remember correctly, he had a cousin in that series as well. They had like some big annual race. I used to watch it as a kid back then when I was watching the 80s cartoons. I only realized that it was Dick Dastardly when I saw Mudley. I was like, holy shit, that's Dick Dastardly. I didn't even realize that. The Blue Falcon is back. He's retired. There's a modern version of him there. So basically, his son took over and Dynamite is kind of guiding him. And they also have an assistant named DD Skies. Every character has a specific role and a great reason for being in this movie in the first place. Even the Q guy has his moments. The Q guy's name is Keith, by the way. Look out for Keith. The villainy is great, the disguises are great. Velma gets to showcase her smarts and that she's a tech savvy. Daphne gets to show that she's an empath and also a people's person. Shaggy and Scooby get to showcase that they are courageous and also the heart of this movie. And Fred is the muscle and ideas man. There's a Hemsworth joke in this movie that you should also watch out for. I really find that so hilarious. There's a baby robot that's obsessed with saving Daphne as well. And I basically already told you why. At one point, Shaggy gives the speech of speeches. The underworld comes to play in this movie. Cerberus also comes out, the three-headed hell dog of Hades. There are double unmaskings, puns, everybody basically gets a happy ending. There are Easter eggs from Boomerang characters or 80s Boomerang characters in the movie as well. At one point we even see Captain Caveman. And the message of this film is that it's not only okay to be scared, it's also heroic to be terrified, because first you're scared and after a while you get up and you fight and you make your second hero moment. Because being scared is your first hero moment. I hope you guys enjoyed this review for Scoob, and I will see you in my third review. Bye!